Hey everyone, and welcome back. It is time for some new reading and writing adventures. We are to the month of May, and so it's time to pick out just what kind of reading and writing adventures I'm going to be embarking on for the new month. So as we've been doing, I will be picking 3 different prompts from my 2 jars. I have one each for reading and for writing. And so I'll be picking 3 from each of these to have 3 different reading and writing adventures for the month of May. Now, as far as April's reading and writing adventures, I actually did get almost every single one of those done. I got 5 out of the 6 completed. And just to recap, those were to write 1 hour a day for 18 days, to write for 23 days in a row without missing a day, to alternate between 2 writing projects every day for a week, to read at least 1 fantasy during the month, to read a book that was under 300 pages, and to complete a series that I was in the middle of. So of those 6 different adventures, I completed all of them except reading a book that was under 300 pages. I had so many different books I was trying to read in April that I never made it to the book that I selected that was under 300 pages. So that's too bad. I was really hoping to read that in April, but it just didn't work out. I did, however, complete all of the writing challenges, and I did complete a series I was in the middle of and read a fantasy. So now let's see what I draw for the month of May and see what adventures I'm going to be going on. I am actually getting kind of low in each of my prompt jars. I don't have that many left because I've been drawing them and keeping those out of the jars so I didn't just immediately redraw them. But it's definitely looking like I'm going to have to refill my prompt jars here pretty soon. Alright, so let's go ahead and choose one of these prompts. I'll start with the writing jar and we will pick one of these out of here and see what we've got. So this one is do a character sketch. This one is really fun. I love doing character sketches. I was actually working on some sketches for some of the characters in my book that I'm currently drafting, and I was having a good time with that. So I would be happy to do another character sketch. I still have a few characters in that book that I have not completed sketches for. So this is perfect. This will work out really well. All right, and now on to a reading prompt. Draw one of these out and see what we have. We have read books in at least 4 different genres this month. That's cool. I completely forgot that this was in here, which isn't really surprising because at this point I have forgotten a lot of the prompts that remain in these jars because it's been quite a few months since I wrote them up. But this is fun. I like this. I love having variety during my reading month. And my TBR video, if you actually saw my TBR video for the month of May, I actually do have quite a variety of genres in there. So this is another prompt to just kind of push me in that direction of having a varied reading list for the month of May, and I am definitely not opposed to that. And back to the writing jar. Let's see what we have. The next one is to write blank words in a weekend, and it says somewhere between 2,000 and 10,000 words in a weekend. This could be a really fun prompt too, because this will really help me with drafting and completing the draft of this book that I'm working on. It is so close to being done as far as a complete draft, and so this is perfect. This works really well. This will really kind of force me to take one of my weekends and just try to finish that book up. So as far as choosing between 2 and 10,000 words, I think what I'll do is just have Siri pick a random number between 2 and 10, and whatever that is, that will be the number of thousands of words that I will write in a weekend. So let's see what we get. Hey Siri, choose a random number between 2 and 10.
A random number between 2 and 10 is 9.
9. So we got the upper side of that. We have 9,000 words to write in a weekend. That will be really great. That should pretty much finish up this draft I'm working on because I'm estimating that I'm between about 8 and 12,000 or so words from being finished with this draft. So this will get me in a really good place. Okay, back to reading adventures. Let's pick something out of the reading jar. And oh no, I got 2. Let me just put one of those back and we'll open this one, and it says Read a book that is at least 400 pages long. Okay, a book that is 400 pages long at least. There are quite a few that are at least 400 pages, and I think I actually have one of the books on my TBR that is 400 or more pages. So if that's the case, I might actually just read, or at least make sure I try to read that book off of my TBR, or pick another one that is 400 pages or more. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that Flame Theory, which is one of the books on my TBR, is over 400 pages. So if I read that, that will satisfy this adventure. Back to the writing jar we go. So let me grab one of these out and we'll see what we have. I keep trying to get 2 of them. I think it's because we're down to just the last few in there. Okay, outline a new chapter. Perfect. All the things that I am getting for writing just go absolutely brilliantly with where I am at on my manuscript. I do have to outline a new chapter. I mean, that is something that I'm going to need to do because I need to write several more scenes to finish out the draft of my book. So outlining a new chapter, perfect. Okay, one more. We're back to the reading jar and we get to pick one more prompt out of here. And we have to read at least blank books this month. And we have something between 6 and 10. So between 6 and 10 books in the month of May. I already have 6 picked out for my TBR. So that already hits the lower number. But let's ask Siri and see how many I have to read this month. Hey Siri. Pick a random number between 6 and 10.
A random number between 6 and 10 is 6.
6. Okay. So this time Siri went with the lower end and we have read at least 6 books in May. I think that is definitely doable because even if I just read my TBR, that already satisfies that. So as long as I can at least read 6 books, then I will take care of that reading adventure. All right, so for a quick recap of what the May reading and writing adventures are, we have to do a character sketch, to write at least 9,000 words in a weekend, and to outline a new chapter for the writing side. And for the reading side, we have to read books in at least 4 different genres this month, to read a book that is at least 400 pages long, and to read at least 6 books this month. Those are perfect adventures. I'm actually really excited for both the writing and the reading adventures for the month of May because they really work out quite well with what I am doing this month, especially on the writing side of things. I am super excited by that because that will probably get me to the end of my draft. Do you have any reading or perhaps even writing adventures that you are going to undertake in the month of May? If you would like to use any of the prompts that I'm going to be using for this month, please definitely feel free to. And if you do decide to do any of these adventures, definitely let me know in the comments below what you ended up doing or which adventures you're going to set as your goal for this month. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you all so very much. And as always, remember to keep following your dreams and believing in the magic of this thing called life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.